So now that we've got a relative and absolute picture on our table, the next step would be to add a relative and absolute link. Now, relative and absolute mean the same thing for links. If you have pages saved in a folder and you link them together by name, that's a relative address. So to show that, we would go into the links column and take out the first NBSP. The anchor tag is used to make links. It's a fairly confusing tag until you're used to it, so bear with me here. It starts with A for anchor, and then you need the href attribute, href. It works just like the source attribute. It simply says where to look to go to the link. Now, we should all hopefully have an index.html page as our home page saved in our folder, so I'll simply link to that, index.html. Remember that the name has to match exactly how you have the link you want to go to saved, which is why it's so important not to use capitalization or spaces when you're naming pages, and why you should keep your page names as simple as possible in the first place. After you add that, you put this bracket here, and that finishes the opening tag for the anchor. So now anything after this bracket becomes the clickable area to access that link. And now you can put either text or images here. If you wanted to click here to win an iPod, you could do so. And this will become the link you click on to access the homepage. After this, you need to remember to close the anchor tag, because if you didn't close the anchor tag here, then everything under this would become part of this link, and your whole page would become a link, which is not what you want. So we can save this and look at our table, and you can now see I have a link here, which tells me I can click here to win. But instead it will just take me to my homepage. And absolute addresses work the exact same way, but instead of having a page saved, you are simply pointing at a page on the internet. This is really helpful if you're just linking to pages that there's no way you possibly could save, such as our lab page. Since you would have to copy the whole thing if you wanted to save it, it would be far easier if you wanted to link to this page if you just copied our absolute address here. And then it's the exact same thing. Anchor tag, href says where you're going to go. You're going to put the link to the lab page in quotation marks. Anything after this bracket becomes what you click on, so you could click here for lab page. And then you would just close the anchor tag there. We could save. We could check it. If we click here for the lab page, there we go. You can link to other pages as well, such as style sheets, text pages. They don't have to be web pages when you use this tag. So if you wanted to link to a style sheet page, just so maybe the assignment might require you to have a link at the bottom of your page to your style sheet, you would simply put the name of your style sheet page here. And you can see now it would take me to a page that displays my style sheet instead. So it doesn't have to be a web page for you to use this link. It's just that that's what you're most often going to link to.